Oh, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there's the sunshine. Oh, yeah, the sun. It's a gorgeous day in Owen Sound, and it is ice fucking cold. It is, in fact, about minus 15 right now, and as you can see, the harbor is frozen over completely, so yeah, you can walk on that. Personally, I wouldn't, but yeah, you can walk on that, so yeah, you can walk on it. Yeah, absolutely. But anyways, I wanted to talk about the state of our military. Yeah, I know, sad and depressing, isn't it? But there's a reason for that. You see, once upon a time, the military was considered an avenue for helping people escape from the foster care to prison pipeline. And yes, more than half of the people who were diverted from that pipeline through the military ended up becoming successful people in life. That's not to say they became millionaires, but they did not end up going through the prison part of the foster care to prison pipeline, because the military gave them the self-esteem, the self-respect that they needed to be able to become functioning people despite what foster care did to them. So yeah. And now they don't accept graduates of foster care anymore. They want perfect people. They really want perfect people. People who got rammed through the legal system because they could not afford a defense lawyer, could prove that their convictions were invalid and wrong by serving in the military. Now, if you've been rammed through the legal system, you can't even apply to the military. They don't want anything to do with you. These are people who need the military as much as the military currently needs them. And they're being rejected because they're not perfect. And that's not good. In fact, it's very bad because we need people. And we're not going to fill the military with university graduates from suburbia because, well, they're not going into the military. They're going into daddy's law firm, daddy's accounting firm, daddy's engineering firm. They're not going into the military. They're not. We need to start recruiting the people who are not perfect. We need to start accepting them in the military the way we used to do. Back when the military was the opportunity to fix a broken societal ill. Because, yeah, it used to be, if you were being railroaded by the legal system, you went into the military. Yeah, if you were about to be railroaded by the legal system, you went into the military. And you proved that you were a good citizen through active military service. But you can't do that anymore because the Army doesn't accept those people. Maybe it needs to. Maybe the Army needs to accept those imperfect people. Maybe the Army needs to take the children who've been broken by foster care and build them back up and turn them into citizens again, into people again, into human beings again. Give them the self-esteem that they need so that when they get out of the military, they are no longer in the pipeline to prison. Start recruiting people who are not perfect. Oh, yeah. So yes, the Army does need to start accepting people who are less than perfect. Start accepting people who've been rammed through the legal system and who are trying to get out of that cycle. Start accepting them. Start accepting people who are already on their way down the pipeline and pull them out and give them the opportunity for a better life. Yeah. And this is something that, yeah, the liberals did this. The liberals decided in the 70s that the Army should be perfect people only. This is actually something that the liberals actually did do that hurt the military. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely. This is not a partisan issue, but yes, the liberals did this. They decided that the Army, Navy, Air Force, etc. should be rolled into one thing, the Canadian Armed Forces, and that the standard for recruitment be perfection. They basically said, if you need the Army to be able to get your fresh start in life, we don't want you. If you need to go into the military to escape from the foster care to prison pipeline, we don't want you. Yeah. And as a result, yes, many people who might otherwise have had decent lives wound up being ran through the legal system, and the military was not able to save them. Compare that to a lot of people who came up through that same foster care to prison pipeline in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and early 70s, and who were saved by the military. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. We want perfect people. University graduates from suburbia, and university graduates from successful farms, but not people who got bounced from foster home to foster home before being dumped on the streets. No, we don't want those. Not in our Army, not in our perfect Army of perfect people. And so a valuable resource of manpower was disposed of, thrown away by the Canadian government. And the Canadian government needs to reach back into that resource of manpower and say, yeah, come on in. That needs to be done. It's an old practice that has been abandoned, and yet it needs to be done. And it should be noted that the British Army used to recruit at the foot of the gallows and basically said, you can join us or you can hang, to people who had quite literally stolen a chicken or who had spat on a nobleman. And these were all crimes punished by hanging. And the Army would say, yeah, you can hang or you can spend 5 years in the Army. And people signed up, and the British Army was one of the biggest, most powerful armies in the fucking world. And one of the best. Because the Army took people who had been written off by society and gave them a chance to prove that they did not deserve to be written off. And unfortunately, the Canadian Army has taken the exact opposite position. If you have been written off, then you can stay written off. You don't get the chance to prove yourself. There are no first chances for people who have come up from the very bottom of the world, the very bottom of society. Those people, they're not wanted. And as we've seen, those people are very often the best soldiers, fiercely loyal to anybody who will give them 3 meals a day and a sense of dignity. 3 meals a day and a sense of dignity. That's all it takes to win the loyalty of people. You want the most loyal army in the world? Recruit the people that have been written off. The people that have been pushed into the revolving door of the court system, who have been shoved into the foster care to prison pipeline. Recruit those people. Pull them out of the pipeline, pull them out of the revolving door, give them a uniform, give them dignity, trust them with a fucking rifle. And you'll have the best army in the world. Absolutely. Trust them, give them dignity, let them prove that they deserve to be treated like human beings. And they will be the most loyal troops you ever found. Hell yeah. Yeah, so you see the house, and you see the U-Haul. Ooh yeah. Yeah,